Okay, here we go. Ready? I'm scared. Where's the
Is it full
blood,
sound?
the heartbeat monitor?
Oh, we could actually.
I was expecting that.
Yes, I'm aware of the $3 per ticket proposal, but I'm still not convinced it's the best option for us. Can you really handle our needs as your largest customer? I'd rather go with a more established company like Zendesk or Salesforce, who have announced plans for a similar feature.
Okay, got it. And what do you consider more competitive pricing? As I mentioned, going from $6 to $3 in terms of ticket resolution cost, we feel like is pretty compelling. But what did you have in mind?
You'll need to come back with a better offer. I'm not going to throw out numbers without seeing what you can do first.
That was tough, actually.
That was tough.
Oh yeah. So now to the fun part of this episode, or the scary part for me. I'm actually going to live negotiate with a Hyperbound bot that I've been working with the team on. This is specifically a negotiation bot. I'm using one of my advisees, Dataland, as an example. Dataland has a automated AI-driven customer support bot that helps deflect support tickets automatically using AI. So Arthur and Howard are the co-founders there. Thank you for letting me use Dataland. The scenario is that I'm talking to the head of procurement at a company called, and we have already sent the proposal aligned with the head of customer success on $3 per deflected ticket. And the head of customer support has agreed to prepay for 10,000 resolved customer support tickets. Now, in this scenario, the head of procurement is going to negotiate against me because she wants a better deal. So let's see how it goes.
Can you hear me all right?
Hey, Donna, yeah, I can hear you great. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Let's get this over with. What do you need?
Amazing. Well, let me just quickly start off with an intro. Do you, by the way, have the next half hour to chat about the proposal we sent over?
Yes, I have the time, but let's keep it brief. I'm quite busy today.
Amazing. Yeah, I can imagine how busy you are. Well, I'll just start with a quick intro. I'm Peter from Dataland. I'm one of the co-founders. We've built as you know from your head of customer support, we built an AI-driven ticket resolution system that starts with resolving tickets, and then our vision is to really help you build a better support infrastructure, including your knowledge base. So we could dive into the details, but wanted to give you some context on me. Would love to hear about your role and start from there if you don't mind, Donna.
I'm the head of procurement at. I manage a team of 7 people and report directly to the CFO. My main goal is to secure cost-effective solutions while maintaining quality. That's about it. What else do you need to know?
Amazing. Well, maybe we can start, Donna, with just the context you have on the proof of concept we completed. I'd love to start there and then get into the proposal and hopefully come out with next steps and a resolution on the pricing. So yeah, what do you know about the proof of concept so far from your head of customer support?
I know that the proof of concept showed a 15% deflection rate for support tickets. That's about all I've been told.
Yeah, we were quite excited about that because we understand that you're paying about $6 to resolve each ticket. And so the proposal, if you've seen, we've come in at $3 to make sure this is very ROI positive solution for you. Is that also information that was funneled your way from the head of customer support?
Yes, I'm aware of the $3 per ticket proposal, but I'm still not convinced it's the best option for us.
Okay, got it. Yeah, tell me a little bit more about that. Because, on last conversation with your support team, they were quite excited to move forward. So would love to understand why you feel like, this is not potentially the path forward for you.
Well, I'm skeptical about Dataland's small size. With less than 10 employees, I'm concerned about your stability and scalability. Can you really handle our needs as your largest customer?
Sure. Yeah. That's specifically something we looked at for the proof of concept. Both Howard and I, my other co-founder, we come from a company called Palantir where we're working with large data models with very, very big customers. And beyond that, the proof of concept, we were actually testing for speed, reliability, and the system performed quite well there. So is there still a concern based off of that I can help address?
Even with your background and the proof of concept, I'm still not entirely convinced. I have to consider the long-term implications and whether Dataland can truly scale with us as we grow.
Yeah, I mean, and that's definitely something that, we are very much personally invested in. At the end of the day, it is a trust exercise, and there is a strategic bet that you're taking. As you mentioned, you will be our largest customer, but we're really excited also about making sure feedback is documented in the product roadmap, and we really truly do see this as a partnership. Is there anything more specific I can help address? Because I definitely don't want to move on to pricing without ensuring that you're comfortable with our scale and our ability to deliver.
I understand your point, but I still have reservations. I'd rather go with a more established company like Zendesk or Salesforce, who have announced plans for a similar feature.
Sure. Yeah. We've definitely been keeping up with the news there. That is something also that we saw your head of customer support specifically evaluate. And a couple things on those solutions. They weren't really born out of the AI age. Their DNA is more based off of CRM or support within the last couple decades. And so we were quite excited that your team wanted to go with a little more nimbler, modern solution. Do you not see it that way?
I see your point, but I'm still cautious. Established companies have a track record and resources that provide a level of security. It's hard to overlook that.
Sure. Yeah. Well, what can we do to kind of help you get more comfortable around that? Or do you feel like, because, we can't change the size of our company overnight. So do you feel like that's a deal breaker for you at this point?
It's not necessarily a deal breaker, but it is a significant concern. If you can offer more competitive pricing, it might help alleviate some of my reservations.
Okay. Got it. And what do you consider more competitive pricing? As I mentioned, going from $6 to $3 in terms of ticket resolution costs, we feel like is pretty compelling. But what did you have in mind?
I think you need to be more competitive than $3 per ticket.
Okay. Is there any guidance you can give us there? Because, last thing I want to do is just guess at the number. I do want to collaborate with you, Donna, but as I mentioned, we do feel like this is a fair price given the status quo that you're coming from and where your customer support team is with handling these tickets.
You'll need to come back with a better offer. I'm not going to throw out numbers without seeing what you can do first.
Okay, no, I definitely appreciate that. Similarly from our side, I hate to guess what will help get the deal done. I really do want to get this off your plate and move forward to implementation. Is there any guidance you can give me? Because, I don't know what to come back to you with right now with that guidance.
All right, fine. Ideally, we'd like to achieve a price of $2 per ticket.
Okay, no, I appreciate that. Can you tell me a little bit more where that's coming from, the context around that number? I hate to belabor it, but again, we do feel like $3 is a fair price. So just want to understand the rationale of $2.
The finance team has highlighted the high cost of managing support tickets in-house, and we're looking to significantly reduce that expense. $2 per ticket would make a substantial difference.
Okay, got it. Well, we are right now at 10,000 tickets committed at the $3 rate. If hypothetically I could convince my co-founder Howard to go down to $2, is there some flexibility in terms of the number of tickets you can commit to? Say, could you do something like 20,000 tickets?
If you can get down to $2 per ticket, we can discuss increasing the ticket volume.
Okay, got it. And does a 20,000 kind of threshold work for you? I just want to get as specific as possible so that we're on the same page.
Yes, 20000 tickets at $2 per ticket would be acceptable.
Okay, got it. I appreciate that. The other thing I think that would really help us, Donna, we're working really closely with your support team. They seem clearly excited, and so we'd love to promote them in a joint case study. Would that also work for you if we were to come down in price?
Yes, I'd be willing to agree to a case study if you can get down to $2 per ticket.
Okay, really appreciate that, Donna. And then the last thing here is, we've been talking and doing the proof of concept for about a couple months now, and we do want to move forward quite quickly. So in terms of timeline, is it possible for us to wrap this up and get a signature within a week?
If you can get down to $2 per ticket, we can sign the deal within a week.
Great. Okay, appreciate that confirmation, Donna. Well, let me have some internal discussions. Like I said, the $3 we felt was very fair and really compelling, but I understand there's some kind of internal requirement to get down to $2. I'll go ahead and send you an email with what we discussed around $20,000, $2 a ticket, and then the case study and timeline being within a week. If you could just write back to me with that, I can have the conversations and get back to you on whether or not we can get down to that level. Does that work for you?
Yes, that works. I'll look out for your email.
Okay, perfect. And yeah, I'll just hopefully, can you reply to that email pretty quickly? Again, I just want everything documented so that we're talking about the same numbers here since we're changing from the proposal. So if you could get back to me today or early tomorrow, that'd be helpful. Could you do that?
Yes, I'll respond promptly.
Amazing. Thanks, Donna. Really appreciate it. Excited to hopefully get this tool into the hands of your team. And yeah, really appreciate your collaboration here.
All right, let's see how it goes. Talk soon.
Awesome. Bye, Donna.
Bye.
All right. That was tough, actually.
That was tough.
Yeah. Even though I helped train the bot, having you both like look at me and then all these folks. Okay, so I just completed the simulation, as you all saw. I was definitely very nervous. Atul and Sriharsha were joking they should hook me up to a heart rate monitor. And if they had, I'd probably be like 150 beats per minute or whatever. But that was really fun. I could see how helpful it is. I mean, I've been in sales for 17 years and I still got nervous. And there were things where I was like, I wish I would have said that differently. And so I think I see the power in, the repetition and having somebody like the bot like Donna, also not be super predictable, right? Which I think is key. Even though I trained the bot, she was still saying things that were different. I've tried this bot, by the way, 8 or 9 times already at home. And the fact that even though the parameters are similar, she says different things makes me react on a dime. And that's what it's all about for sales professionals is how do you react in different situations while still being able to practice similar phraseology and get to the goal outcome you want to get to. So it was really fun, nerve-wracking, but really fun. And something that I hope I can share with other founders actually now that we've built one bot. So that's how I felt. Now let's turn it over to the makers of Hyperbound. How did you both feel that went?
Well, you crushed it, Peter. The thing that, seriously, the thing that I really like about the way that you approach this type of call is the composure that you bring into the conversation.
Thank
right?
you.
Because when people are asking for something that is a little unreasonable, that they're making a big ask, getting flustered gives them a little bit of power in that situation.
Yeah.
But when you go back and you ask over and over again, we feel that this is reasonable, all right, and with the confidence to show that, no, you really feel that this is reasonable. Yeah, I think I love seeing that, right? Like that's the type of negotiating skill that makes you the owner of the room.
I appreciate that. Yeah. I think I get that situation all the time, and my clients do too, where procurement officers are trying to get you to bite on the first offer.
Yes.
Right.
Happened to me a million times.
Oh, right. Or they're like, sharpen your pencils. This isn't good enough. And then you're like, okay, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Yep.
So yeah, that was a big part of it. So I appreciate you picking up on that. Yeah. How about you, Sriharsha?
No, I was going to say the exact same thing. It's really hard to repeat yourself over and over again in a negotiation, but sometimes that's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Right? Sometimes they're asking for something that's just unreasonable, and you have to remind them like, hey, that is unreasonable, and we felt that we were pretty reasonable. And repeating that over and over again, it shows confidence, right? And it basically makes you feel like you're the one in control, not them. And I think also I like the way, you would also give pauses, right? Like it's not like you immediately reply or your facial expression suddenly changes. You're very calm. She says something, as no matter how many times she came back at you, you're very calm, took your time, kept your pace exactly the same way. And I think that being on the other side of the negotiation, it's really hard to keep asking for that discount when someone responds that way.
Yeah. I appreciate that. I speak very slowly. Actually, a lot of people catch that. And part of it is because English was my second language. So I'm like trying to think in real time what to say next. And so that's also why I
can't
pause.
even tell. I just thought you were a really good speaker.
Thanks,
Is
man.
your
Appreciate
thought
it.
process in Korean and then you translate to English like real time?
Not now. It
Okay,
used to
okay.
be when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But I think I've taken that like cadence, right? And even though I'm speaking in English, sometimes I don't know what I'm gonna say a second before I say something, and so I use a lot of bridge phrases. So I'll say like, "Oh, that's a good point," or "I understand," or "I appreciate where you're coming from," because that buys me an extra like second to think. Right. So anyways, I'm glad you guys brought up kind of the cadence part. Can I ask you a question? Because I did give in on the $2.
Yes.
Right.
You did.
So how did that feel? Did it feel like it was too much, or should I push back more, or did that still feel natural to you guys?
Well, I don't think you completely gave in either, right? You said, we might be open to it. I have to talk with my co-founder. And I
Yes.
think that's definitely one of the best negotiation tactics, right?
Yeah.
It's like, it's not in my control.
Totally.
It's up to my co-founder who's not in the room.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's true, right? You guys
Yeah.
talk about deals, right?
No, it's
not
very
like you're
true.
gonna
But
unilaterally-
the funny thing, man, is like even when it's not true, it still works.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think there's a certain power to that when it comes to negotiation.
Yeah.
Especially like this scenario, I like how you were like, well, I'm glad that would work for you, but I still have to check in and shoot you an email. And you also mentioned, hey, could you reply back to me promptly, right? Which is also a power move. It was like, hey, like if I'm gonna do this for you, you better respond quickly as well.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah. And then I got her to increase the ticket
volume.
threshold, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
And that's the other thing with negotiations, right? It's always a give or take.
Yep.
There's a lot of scenarios where we're like, junior reps will just drop the price and they won't ask for anything in return, but you always have to ask for something. I like how you asked for the case study, you asked for the ticket volume going up. Whether it's, valuable or not, it's just a way to make the buyer feel like they just didn't get a free discount. Like it's a give or take situation.
That you paid for something, right? Like you're the discount isn't materializing out of thin air because that devalues the product. And that is so important because now when you go back next year to go negotiate this contract again, you can point to the reason why the price was discounted when you're increasing it by $1 per ticket.
Totally.
And if you don't, right, it's really hard to come back for that. Just even thinking long term, like it's the best way to move.
Nice. Yeah. And the deal size actually increased, if you notice.
Yes.
So 20,000 times 2, 40,000 versus 10,000 times 3.
Right.
So
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think sometimes buyers, they just want to win, man.
Yeah.
They just want to feel like they got something.
Yeah.
And so I think you did a great job with that. You made her feel like she won. But I also think you won in the process as well by just, getting something more out of her as well in addition to the discount.
Yeah. Nice. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. You caught that words of affirmation is my love language. So
There you go.
appreciate it. Awesome. Okay. Well, that's it for this episode. Thank you again to Sriharsha and Atul for spending their valuable time with me. And I'm very excited to keep this going, to talk to more talented AI founders within tech and share their stories with you.